Hi, my name is Stormy Shepard, and I've been asked to talk about my experience here at Cal and how I got here. And I'm happy to do so. I'm really excited about being a student at the finest university in the world, regardless of what some studies might say. And my experience is that I am a reentry student, and I transferred here to Cal in January of 2014. I had previously I had attended community college right out of high school, and I was in and out for about 7 years. And in the end, I left school to pursue a career in business, and I told myself at that time that I could always go back to school. And I came very close to doing that in the year 2000. And I actually went to meet with a counselor at a community college in my area in Southern California. I'm from the greater Los Angeles area, born in San Diego, and lived most of my life in the Conejo Valley, Thousand Oaks area. But I went to Moore Park College in the year 2000, met with a counselor and talked about an academic plan. And then Y2K hit, and nobody was going back to school. Fast forward to January 2012, or I guess December 2011, a coworker of mine was going back to school to get her master's degree, and that was sort of a last straw in the decision-making process for me. I don't even know what made me decide finally to do it, but next thing I knew, I found myself registering for classes back at Moore Park, where I was previously. So, it took a minute to get back there, but more than a couple of decades. And it was a very different experience. I was really serious and committed and knew what I wanted to do, which was basically just get a degree. That's all I had in mind at the time, was I wanted my 4-year degree. And I ended up being Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society. I graduated with honors with 2 AA degrees from Moore Park College. I had really no understanding of my academic marketability at that time. I really didn't. I should have known, because I had offers of application fee waivers from Columbia and St. John's and a couple of other schools, but it just didn't register. Otherwise, maybe I would have applied at Harvard or Cambridge or whatever, I don't know. But in the end, my goal was to qualify for a UC school, and so that was my sort of my academic plan in community college. And so I applied to 7 of the 9 UCs. I got accepted to 6. I actually tagged San Diego because that's where I was born, as I mentioned, and when I got the acceptance from them, I just didn't have the peace of mind that I expected. I didn't have the excitement that I expected, and that kind of troubled me. I'm like, how come I'm not overjoyed? I had always thought that it was a dream of mine to go back to San Diego to live and work, and then later, sometime later, I heard from Cal, and they wanted me in the spring. And all of a sudden, I understood that part of my concern about going to San Diego was the timing. It would have been 4 months earlier in the fall. And I didn't really know much about Cal, and I actually almost didn't apply to Cal because I thought I was under the misconception that I was missing 2 critical classes to be able to transfer as an English major to this university. Turns out I was wrong about that. I almost didn't apply, and I was shocked when they accepted me. And then I did some looking into Cal and the caliber of the school. And I'm going to probably get a little emotional here because I never imagined, that this could happen to me, So I'd never even visited Berkeley before I came here to go to school in January of this year, 2014. I live in the Berkeley Student Cooperative in a really cool house with 25 residents. I actually have 2 manager positions there. And it was all kind of la-di-da at first as a student, and I didn't understand until almost midterm that I was not in a community college anymore. And I was treating it like a community college in terms of my work ethic. And as I was approaching midterms, I realized that I was in trouble, and I didn't know how to get out of trouble. And I didn't really understand how stressed I was until I went actually to the transfer office and met with the student parent, a couple of student parent members that happened to be hanging out in the office. And we had a real good conversation, and it helped me kind of get some direction and some focus. And it was around that time that I went to the Counseling Psychological Services, the CPS. I met with a clinical psychologist there for an hour, gratis, as part of my deal here with Cal. And it was in that session that I realized how stressed out I was. I got emotional, and I realized I needed to do something. It was really a wake-up call for me. But what I needed to do was really to ratchet up my work here and really be a full-time student. I do hold down what was initially a full-time job remotely based in LA as a professional search consultant and recruiter. But I had to have a talk with my employer and tell him I can't do that anymore. So, we came to an understanding that I'll guarantee 20 hours a week, but this is my priority, being a student at Cal. And what I discovered through this whole counseling and sort of stress point for me was that Cal's retention rate is something in the mid to upper 90s, and now I know why. I'm a DSP student, I'm an EOP, as I'm the first person in my family to ever even think about going to college. I'm a transfer student. I mean, I've got, and I've taken full advantage of all of the resources that I know are available to me here at Cal. And I urge anybody, especially student parents with kids still at home. Now, my children are young adults. They're in their early 20s. I have 2 kids that live in Southern California. And I've been an inspiration to them, frankly. That's not why I'm here, but that's what's been happening. They both have been enrolled in school, in college, and I hope that they continue pursuing that seriously. I recently declared as an English major, which took some doing, but I'm happy to finally have that under my belt. Due in large part to the conversation I had that day in the Student Parent Center, the transfer department here at Cal, I decided to expand to a double major and pursue international studies field major also, which is a very rigorous program, but basically, as I understand it, I get to design my own course curriculum. The way it was described to me, pick the dream classes that you want to take available throughout the entire Cal university, and who wouldn't want to do that? But it's very rigorous and includes a 30 to 40 page senior thesis at the end of it. So it's going to be hard, but I'm excited about it. My plan when I first got here was to graduate as an English student, and to, when I graduate, use those credentials and that experience, that degree, to teach English internationally. I've never traveled internationally, and that's really a passion of mine. I've wanted to do that since before graduating from high school, many moons ago. And now it looks like it's going to come to fruition. And I intend to study abroad in Singapore, maybe Hong Kong, but probably Singapore in the spring of 2015. And I tell my friends that know me well, and those that maybe I'm getting acquainted with, that I used to say this is like living a dream that I never knew I had. And really what it is, it's so remote for me. This is beyond anything I ever could have hoped, dreamed, or imagined. It's more like I'm living somebody else's dream. It's really wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you.